hours of soft souls, hits, and ODs. Brought to you by Law Nation Sports, home of the Dallas Cowboys independent crew. From yours truly, from my studios to yours. Let's continue to grind and shine, baby. The name is Law Nation. Without hesitations nor deviations to this matter, be sure to hit that like button, share this content. Let that friend, that neighbor know where to go when it's time to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond, baby. Let's get it. Yeah. They say ain't no party like a cowboy party. What about a Law Nation's groove? Come on with it. Mama said there'll be days literally just like this. We got training camp on the way, by the way. Training camp. Shout out to you. You put a 1 in the chat if the audio is straight. Come on with it. I see you. Dak owns Filthy. John Jones. Melvin Baldwin. Come on with it. Road to 6.
And we understand the cost that is involved.
All right. 5. 4.
They can come closer than close. Yeah.
3.
Original, they never will be.
2.
They can come closer than close. Yeah. Original, they never will be.
Ain't no party like a cowboy party. Ain't no party like a Law Nation party. Come on. Yeah. You hear this, get amongst us. Don't you hear this, baby? Come on with it, baby. All right, come on, baby. Oh, wrong day. Yeah. Look at them girls with days do so. All right, shout out to you, 728 GT. Appreciate you, Jay Worthy. Appreciate your time to grind. Yeah. Shout out to you, Ice. Just make sure you roll it tight. You know. Appreciate everybody, man, for tuning in. If this is your first time, hold on to your seats, man. It's a rocky road. It's a rocky road. Come on with it. But today is the 25th of June, and next month around this time, we will be in sunny California if the Lord is willing to have us there. And I'm here to give you guys what I think of this particular schedule. The days that you need to be there, the days that you would like to be there. Normally, if you want to hit the crowd up, then be there week 1, right, of this training camp. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys can see this chart line for your mind. And by me being at multiple camps for multiple years, I understand. I understand the cost, right? Come on with it. And for those who need to know if y'all preparing to get yourself there, I'm going to be spending anywhere between 10 to maybe 14 days out here in California. I'm looking at this like my second home, right? The opening day, there's going to be crazy line works everywhere, and that's just the reality of it. Opening day, that's just how it goes when it's that time of the year, and that's July the 22nd, right? And you're just going to see some formalities of it. You're going to see people pretty much just doing walkthroughs, nothing just going to be competitive. You may have some media outlets there and these sorts of things. And then day 2, they're going to start ramp up period, right? Whereas people making sure that their cleats and shoes and everything match. And then around day 3, you may see a little action on day 3. So if you planning to fly in that Thursday and spend Friday and Saturday and Sunday out there, those are going to be hell of a good days to time to be there. Oxnard fan night, they're going to have all type of things, clowns and people jumping out of balloons and stuff, man. And it's going to be nice. The cheerleaders that's getting paid for 40% more than what they got paid the last time that they was there, right? So you get a chance to see the city open up, the collection city and everything over there in Oxnard is going to be jumping there Friday and Saturday. So if you going to be there, try to be there that weekend if you just there for the entertainment, right? But for the football people, man, yeah, Elijah, Verdi, Jeremy, for the football people that want to see some pad actions, it may be around July 30th, it may be around August the 2nd, the 4th, around that time, and then they have joint practices. You want to be there for them joints, man. You want to see what Jared Verse is going to look like now against Tyler Guyton. You want to see what Kobe Turner? The matchup on August the 5th. Oh yeah. This day right here, if you're going to be in California on August the 5th, you need to be there early. I'm talking about the line is longer than Jay Leno's chin. So you want to be there early. And that was even when we had 3 or 4 people in the stands. It's something about those joint practices, right? And then they have a day off. So if you trying to plan your vacation time around this time, I would go, in my opinion, this second week or this third week. Those should be your time frames if you want to see pad actions and all of this stuff. And that's just for what it is. But the first week, man, it's just kissing babies, shaking hands, getting network stuff done. And these first 3 days, you got to be there so you can get to know, the players, who new, who's not. I'm thinking that somebody's going to check out. We got 90 players, big old 90. They got to cut it down to 53. And I don't know if you guys can see that tip of that 9, but let me erase it all. All right, so we got 90 guys that you got to cut it. You got to cut it down to 53 by the end of camp. Somebody's not going to make it. That's just the reality of it, Cowboy Nation. Your best buddy not going to make it. And what we all want, Cowboy Nation, out of this real good football stuff that's floating around here, would be the simple strength and the fact that if we can figure out a way to get a defensive one tech, let me pull up PFL because, that's where we've been talking about for these last few days. It's about the one techs and everything. Shout out to Zeke. There you go. You always pop up first, man. Come on. Shout out to Ezekiel, Elijah, Elliott. And this is where we were last season. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, your comfort meter on this. We were 31st in points allowed. Do you think that we improve on that? It's historically, there's only one other team that was worse than us, and we were second out of all of that. So we're 31st in points allowed, meaning that our defense was atrocious, right? Speaking of that, overall, the Cowboys were ranked 25th, according to metrics and beyond. So we got areas that we need to improve at. We looking at special teams. We need to improve at that. We're looking at offense. We need to improve at that. And we're looking at defense. We need to improve at that. Here's the thing. When your quarterback is healthy and he finished out the season, historically speaking, in the last 9 to maybe 8 years, because he missed about 2 seasons out of his career on a fullness, they never finished at the bottom of the top 25. So the thing that we need to do, as much as y'all spit upon Dak Prescott, if he is healthy, they don't finish in 28th ranked in offense. They're anywhere between top 1 through top 5 and at the least top 10. Ain't that crazy? That Dak Prescott is so bad that he is a top 10 quarterback in offense when he's healthy. That's crazy, but that's neither here nor there. And then on defense, 28th in defense. So we need to improve in those categories, regardless of the situation. And there's 90 players. So we're going to have to trim the fat and see how we can get down to who will be the best available, the best players out here. Cowboy Nation, how do you guys feel about training camp? Put a 5 in the chat if you're going to be out there at Oxnard or in Oxnard. And like I said, I'll be there anywhere between 10 to 14 days. And I would love to see y'all beautiful faces. And the strength of me being out there will be because of you guys helping supporting the nation with your support, while it's donations, whether it's cash apps, PayPal, whether it's just sharing your information to someone that do have a lot of resources that they are willing to give, whether it's clothing, man, hats, hoodies. It could be anything that can help support the nation. So Elijah, you'll be there. Hopefully when you there, I'm there. Timothy, hopefully when you there, I'm there, and we get things going in the right directions, Cowboy Nation. Obviously, they're counting on offense to protect the defense. This is Leon L. Your greatest tool for your defense will be your offense. Your greatest tool for your defense will be your offense. Let me say that once again. Your greatest tool for your defense will be your offense. A plan of attack, the mindset to say, hey, we're not going to do anything reckless. We plan the field. Nothing wrong with that. We live to play again, or we live to fight again. We don't have to go for it on 3rd and 30, and things like that. Play it safe, get the yards, punt the ball, and get rid of it. If it's 4th and 5, I don't want us to do something like, hey, let's prove a point and let's go for it on our side of the field. No, you play the field. The NFL is for long, not for short when you plan. I know NFL is not for long, but when you plan, it literally goes down, or it comes down to 1 or 2 plays. If you are a real solid team, and if you are a real good team, it boils down to 1 or 2 plays that can determine whether or not you win or lose. Believe it or not, every time. 1 or 2 plays. Now, if you just good, you just blow the other team out. But it goes down to 1 or 2 plays. And how you manage those 1 to 2 plays, they call it rule of 8 and all of this stuff. Now, we got a kicker. We got a kicker that all you have to do is literally get to the 50, right? But we don't want to outuse his leg. We want to get him in comfortable range. It's like 35 and 40, right? So, and he can kick. He can hit those hits. He can make those kicks. So we got to use that as a strategy, right? Not as as a security safety blanket, but no, use it as a strategy. Yeah. Score, never forget loyalty. Yeah. Score early, and that's what the offense need to do. Davies, yeah. And I can't wait to see you out there too, my brother. Here's my 1,000 thoughts on this too, Davies, is that the Cowboys, as long as we are in control, when we get the ball and we force teams to go out their will, then I would say, man, Shot is doing something remarkable with this team. As long as he allow us to stay in control. And if not, then we in a bit of trouble, right? And those troublings is not something that you can get rid of real quickly. So when we head into this particular situation, we want to see that. I'm seeing also, shout out to my guy Brandon Laurie. He got this photo of all of the we do need 6 points, but it's all in a matter of making sure you score, right? Making sure you score and kill the clock. It's all in a matter of time, right? This is Dak Prescott, Joe Milton, and Will Greer. Shout out to Brandon Laurie. I think he does a wonderful job of just recapping what things going on in the Dallas area or with these players. Quarterback Dak Prescott, Joe Milton supporting Will Greer at his Celebrity Golf Classic last week. And Schottenheimer talked about how he wants his players to support each other off the field and on the field for events, basically. the QB room is already seems to be closer. Yeah. So we got CeeDee Lamb, my bad, Joe Milton, and we got Dak Prescott and Will Grier. Don't he look like Lamb a little bit? It just look like Lamb to me. And this is how it goes. This picture always funny. Yeah, this is around the corner. I love when I see these type of things of all of these guys working together. Dak Prescott was also tagged with his particular event, throwing the football to Kevontae Turpin, Jake Ferguson, George Pickens. And, I like Pickens. I like him, And when you think of it, it's always the guy that most people already had their negative connotation about, right? And all of a sudden, that person that you thought that was going to be a nuance or was going to be a bad guy becomes the good guy. But that George, man. Come on. Down, boy, down. Jeez. You scared the company away. Down, boy. Yeah, I promise y'all he don't bite. He don't bite. He just, yeah. So it's good seeing Dak Prescott getting ready, getting in good form, getting everything going. Rapport is everything. And I do like the maturity level and all this offseason. They've been colliding together out there at training camp and as individual guys working with each other. So this is good. You would think that you would hear some horror stories by now, but now you look at the complete picture and then you do the historical reasonings of George Pickens. You never seen anything off the field, right? He's a young kid that was on the field angry at how they were losing, right? And when you start to contextualize Pittsburgh, you can't name me the notable quarterback that was throwing him the ball. So it's a win-win for us. It's just that now we do know that Jerry Jones and company, they do drag their feet when it's time to pay these boys. That's the only conundrum with it. But I do like the aspect that these guys been working with each other all off season and getting it out of the mud that way. And speaking of that, some additional context for the viral video. Tyler Booker challenged the young kid and all to compete against each other and his peers. Even though they lost, Booker was named the camp MVP. He named the kid MVP. But here you go. Yeah.
I know you're going to compete. I want to see how long you're going to compete. Go.
Yeah.
Go. I want to see how long you're going to compete. I want to see how long you're going to compete. Hey, right here. Give me a winner.
Give me a winner.
Go.
Hey, no. Now, he wrong for beating that boy.
Keep going. I'm going to find somebody for you. Keep going.
Oh, so the context was, and I don't want to play all that because we don't know how the sound and audio is on this. So that kid, Francis, literally beat everybody, I guess. And I guess what Tyler Booker was like, well, shoot, I'm going to find somebody. You're going to lose. Yeah, find somebody. Yeah. Yeah. He even raced the girls. Get your butt out of the way. So I do like the most compelling thing of Tyler Booker is the fact that this kid is hungry. We showed this just the other day on what he was able to do far as just trying to keep himself in line with everything. Let me see if I can find it. Give me 1 second here. And I'm not saying turn that down. I'm not saying that him punching the bag all of a sudden is going to give him a greater insight to playing guard, because he damn sure, if you can look, he's not a boxer, but this is somebody who's willing to try to improve themselves. And one of the things that you can look at is if you are a guard or an offensive lineman in general, you got to be where your feet at. You got to move your feet. And you got to have good jab, good hand placements. You want to get literally when you are playing offensive lineman. I've never been 280 pounds, right? I've never been 300 pounds. But I can tell you, this is what you're trying to do as an offensive lineman. there's a thing what we call a cylinder. And the opposition is what you're trying to do is keep him inside the cylinder. That's all you're trying to do as an offensive lineman is keep the opposition inside the cylinder. You want to get hands inside. You're going to hear leverage. You're going to see, hey, I want to swivel my feet. My kick slide got to be there enough. I'm trying to keep him inside the cylinder. I'm trying to keep my shoulders squared, right? But the moment I get my shoulders turned, then the opposition can swing by me. Right? So you got to have dexterity, you got to have good hand placement, you got to redirect, and you got to have good feet, and you got to anchor because these are guys that's designed to come straight at you. And seeing Tyler Booker taking the necessary time of working on his hands and feet and jabbing and disengaging and re-engaging, these are things that you look for. Boxing will help with Booker base and hand placement. Big Sarge, you're right. So a rudiment to all of this is I'm going to keep him inside the cylinder. I'm going to keep my base, and I'm going to make sure it's not too wide and make sure it's not too narrow. Keep a natural base. Anchor down inside, knees slightly bent, not too low, and I'm going to keep my weight above my feet, not lunging over. Offensive linemen get into so much trouble, especially when they're long and they don't have dexterity, that they start lunging and leaning. And those are things that not well with your body mechanics, right? You don't want to have your shoulders too far ahead of your feet. So these are technicality things that I'm talking about, Cowboy Nation. And this is what Tyler Booker is working on, as we can clearly see, is, hey, hand placement, jabbing, balance, yes, all of that's good stuff, Jeremy. And I can't take this away from him. These are things that I like to see, and hopefully it'll be transferable when it's time for us to play week 1 versus, of course, it'll be him versus Jalen Carter. It'll be him versus Jalen Carter. Yeah, hands, shoulders, knees, and toes. Yeah, superstar status, you right. Yeah, I learned boxing on the fly, ice cold, Cowboy. You know, boxing, and I got a chance to talk to Tony Mack, man. Shout out to him and salute to him and all of the people that's in the boxing community. We got a fight July the 11th with my girl Chicken. She's doing an unbelievable job here in Dallas. Her and Alicia Baumgartner, she's doing a great job too out there in Dallas and doing all of these things. But boxing is the ultimate chamber of truth. You can play basketball. You can play football. But there's no playing boxing, right? You know? And you just don't go and say, hey, I'm playing boxing. But boxing is also a sport that everybody think that they can do it, because everybody that's hearing me right now think that they can fight, right? Everybody think they can fight, right? I'm undefeated. Get hit one time. Be like, hey, man, I was just playing. And that's just how that goes with that. So shout out to him on all of that and continue to work and work on his craft. This is what CeeDee Lamb is talking about as it relates to, you better put a body on me because you better make sure that you do right by me. And this is CeeDee Lamb. Let's listen to what he have to say. Shout out to CeeDee Lamb.
Just week in and week out, I just know, like, I know what I want to do as far as every game, go crazy, you know, just keep the eyes on me and open opportunities for others, right? But I just know one thing for sure, they better account for me or else.
Hey, y'all better look out for me or else. He can talk boldly with that now, you know. Because when he said they better account for me, they did that. Yeah, they said, okay, all right. He said they better account for me. Let me bracket him. Let me roll coverage his way. We'll let the other people be ancillary. We can win the one-on-ones with them. It's C. Dangerous Lamb, who we had to put all eyes on because he had, 1,600 yards? How many yards did CeeDee Lamb had in 2023? Not last year, but 2023. Yeah, how many yards? How many yards? The boxing will help Booker. Yes. Alicia is tough, but she needs to stay away from Clarissa. Yeah, they're two different rate classes too. But yeah. I think Alicia, by her fighting at 138, 139, I think that's a good situation for her. But that Clarissa is something different. Yeah. With CD Lamb, y'all, he had 1,700 plus. Big Sarge. He was phenomenal in 2023. We just didn't have a running mate with him. He didn't have a running. The running mate would have alleviated things. Look, every now and then, when you look at Michael Irvin, there was an Alvin Harper, right? To a degree, even though they didn't win the Super Bowl, that Minnesota team, when you saw Randy Moss doing his thing, you had a Chris Carter. You even had a Jake Reed to a degree, right? The Patriots, not going to use them as much, but they still had multiples. You had Gronkowski and Edelman and whoever else that would be great ancillary pieces that didn't wet the bed when it was time for them to shine. So what I'm getting at is that the Cowboys, and I'm not putting this on Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert, or whoever else, Jalen Brooks that we had, Mingos and all of this stuff last season. Teams just waved them off. There was no threat. A spider without fangs, a snake without teeth or venom. That's a good gardener snake. When we realize it's just a gardener snake, and not even poisonous. So they waved off those guys. He better not do it this year. Ooh, he going to make them pay. Because when the focus and the attention was on Lamb, just like I said, when all of the focus and attention on Dak, it just didn't work out that way. The tight end game and the running game is always married to the quarterback, right? But to a wide receiver, you still at times need another person to pull the pressure away. So this season is a whole lot different to that degree. I'm praying, guys, that these guys can just stay healthy. We don't want to be robbed, in daylight.
Just keep the eyes on me and open opportunities for others, right? But I just know one thing for sure: they better account for me or else. And like Tyreek says, we rarely see one-on-one coverages and man-to-man. So it's just differentiate and preparation.
Yeah,
that takes a lot. All week going into it just for. We get to a Sunday night, Sunday, whatever, and go crazy. So, they better keep losing sleep. Don't.
So he's saying, with the grill in his mouth and everything, he want to paint a picture that he thugged out. Shout out to CD Lamb. Nothing wrong with that. Get your rocks off by portraying that image there. We need that. We need that energy, bro. This could literally set us apart from what we did last season, especially the 2023. Let me level with y'all too. Because it's more to just me paint the brush or the picture that everything was okay, peaches and cream last season, and it just injuries put into place, right? Here's the thing. You took a player and we're going to see it a little bit with Terry McLaurin if he continue to hold out for the Washington team. Mina Kimes talked about this. 40% of production level drops when a player holds out during the offseason. 40%. So 40% of 100%, what is left, y'all? Keep that in mind. I'm just being 1,000. I'm doing quick math for y'all. It's 100%. You take 40%, what is left? And it answers real quickly. Put it in the chat. Y'all don't hurry up and put it all in one time, right? So you have that level of CeeDee Lamb on the field. Less than what he normally would exhibit of 100%, right? Jerry Jones with the quick math, man. I wish I had some prize money I could throw it your way, Jerry. but you good. You don't need it. AP, appreciate you. Big Sarge, 60%. Well, we got some smart ones in here, baby. 60% CeeDee Lamb heading into 2024 season last year. With his 60%, hear me out, because he held out. He was trying to get his bag, and I don't blame him. 60% Lamb forced 100% of the dedication of the opposing team. They didn't try to put 80. They didn't try to put 70. They didn't try to put 60. They gave 100% to say, hey, we take Lamb away. We wave off the run because the tendencies of the Cowboys, they don't run to open up the pass anyway. If they gash us for 5 or 6 yards, they won't be dedicated and disciplined enough to continue to run the ball. So we'll wave that off. And tendencies is what teams keyed in on with Mike McCarthy. Was Mike McCarthy a terrible coach? No, that's what I was trying to get at that guy yesterday. Like, yeah, 12-5, 12-5, he's not terrible. But sometimes you can be stuck in your ways. Sometimes you can only work on one thing. It's like having a bodybuilder that works only on upper body and skip leg day, Jim Jones, right? So that was Mike McCarthy. In a nutshell, you know, he was a guy that loved to throw the ball, West Coast principles, philosophies. Hey, when it's time to run, it's leg day. I'm not about the cardio, Mike, you know. And you had a guy that's 60% that was given 100% far as the defense attention on him. The other guys, they waved off. If Jalen Brooks beat us for a slant, a slow go, a post, let Jalen Brooks cook. If Jalen Tolbert wins, let him cook. If Taney Brandon Cooks, literally they lined 4 or 5 yards off of him and gave him the middle of the field. They were not a threat at all. You know, docile approach. You know, a sheep. You know, you ain't worried about them biting you up and charging you. So what we're looking at is we're looking at now heading into the 2025 season. Lamb, he's going to be at training camp. He's not holding out. He got his bag, his paper, his money, his moolah. You got Pickens, who's in a different lane of conversation because this is now going into a contract year for him, and he's on the biggest, brightest of the stage. If I'm Jerry, I'm literally getting in front of George Pickens' contract before he see the field. Sometimes you got to take the risk, Jerry. And I'm paying him early. And this could come back and bite me. So what? Because after he played this season, his numbers and his bag opportunity is going to go high. And I'm talking about John Legend high. You know, so it's going to be that situation that you got Lamb on one side, Pickens on the other. Jalen Tolbert can get his ancillary moves, or Kevontae Turpin, or Jake Ferguson, or any of those other guys that's ancillary pieces. It could be Mingo. And I believe if Mingo lines up versus a Ringo, it still can be, I said this a couple of weeks ago, bingo for a touchdown. It's just going to be that. There's no more explaining that I have to do with all of this. And if we can get this traction going with run game, yeah, y'all better pay attention. Ferguson is in a contract year 2. Yeah. and I get it. You know, a lot of people skeptical, and a lot of people been taking a dump and doing this on my guy Jake Ferguson.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah. A lot of people been doing that all over Ferguson. As if four was out there on the field when his numbers and productions decline, right? It's like, come on with it.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah. So, T-Jack says, and I'm picking up the lingo. You know, I love it, man. But if you somehow didn't pick it up and it smelled funny, let me tell you what you need to do. Let's talk about control. And first and foremost, I'm talking about control body odor, and that's anywhere. And all you have to do is shop.mando and get $5 off of your starter pack, and that's over 40% with promo code LAW, shopmando.com. Let's go. I use this body wash odor control, full body control with Mando. They have the product here, and they also have deodorant that you apply under the arm for 72 hours of odor control. You want to be in control. And speaking of control, they also have the product that you can apply all over the body, the invisible cream, and it also fights for 72 hours. Look, it's all about being in control. And with Mando, man, they control body odor anywhere. All you have to do is shop.mando, get $5 off your starter pack. That's over 40% with promo code LAW, shopmando.com. Let's go, and let's stay in control of your odor. I love it.
Let's go, man! Let's go!
Yeah, so if you want to stay in control of your odor, man, that invisible cream on clean skin will last up to 72 hours. Wash it, you put it on it and apply it, and just last for 72 hours. Now, I'm a clean type of guy, so I haven't tested it for 72 hours, just as a disclaimer. But I trust their word, you know. And if you had to test it out for 72 hours, ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the chat. But check out Mando and be sure to support the nation by buying it. You get 40% off of your starter pack. Let's go.
Damon, Bama Boy, Davis $5. La, I'm in McKinney. TX now as a trucker, it's fire as HELL here, Jesus tears of joy.
Yeah, man, it is hot in Dallas, man. You know, shoot, Satan was up here the other day, and he was like, man, let me go back to hell to cool off. You know, it's too hot up this way. Yeah, yes, indeed. I'm going to let y'all make it, you know. So it get hot in Texas, man. It was so hot yesterday that the lights cut off, and we was like, hey, what's going on? They just wanted to turn the lights off because they want to do rolling blackouts. And it's just how I do to conserve some energy here. And with that being said, you know, I appreciate you over there in McKinney, Texas. How long you going to be in town, bro? Because we got a lot of things that we doing. Tomorrow we got a symposium to be at. We got things that we want to be a part of as far as the Cowboys community. And speaking of that, I don't know what's going on with Tony Romo and them, but, man, he got stuff all over his face and everything. It looked like he part of the Booger Sugar community, but neither here nor there. Let's listen to my guy Tony Romes, man, on this conversation about Coach.
I think it was a great hire. I think that team can really surprise some people this year. They got a great trade, George Pickens. That's going to help. You have two dynamic receivers. That's going to put a lot of pressure on the defense, and that's going to open up the run game and other facets on offense too. But I think Brian Schottenheimer, you know, he's going to surprise a lot of people. Oh, yeah, Shotty. Brian Schottenheimer's a great football coach.
Yeah. So that's Tony Romo, man. And I got a package up front. Yeah, man, them Amazon folks, they'll knock on the door, and then you look, and they gone. They know how to do those things, yeah. But shout out to Tony Romo. He states that Shotty is a real good coach. And shout out to our Dallas Cowboys. Appreciate you. I truly believe that with that being said, if you start to think about what Tony said in general about Pickens, he keep mentioning Pickens. And he knows what CeeDee Lamb is capable of, right? Even though he never got a chance to throw the ball to Lamb. But you guys give it what I'm saying. Lamb, Pickens, the notion of, hey, we got a coach that's been here. I was listening again to DLLS, and speaking of that, hold on. My guy right here, Clarence, man. Hey, Clarence. Man, I'm live right now. I'm gonna hit you up as soon as I'm off of it, bro.
I'll be back.
All right, bro. Peace. Yeah. It's my guy Clarence right there. He got some breaking news to tell me probably. All right, so Tony need to shave. What is that?
I think it was a great hire. I think that team
What is all that on his face, man?
can really surprise some people this year. They got a great trade, George Pickens. That's going to help. You have two dynamic receivers. That's going to put a lot of pressure on the defense, and that's going to open up the run game and other facets on offense too. But I think Brian Schottenheimer, he's going to surprise a lot of people. Oh yeah, Brian Schottenheimer's a great football coach. I think.
Is that gray hair? Or is that gray hair? What is that on his face, man? Like, y'all see that? Like, what's on the legend's face, man? What's on his face? What's going on with all of that? What's this? What's all this? What's all that, y'all? It's coming from the nose. That's his gray beard that's coming through. He's finna rock the Brett Favre. Favre was his favorite quarterback growing up. Is he gonna rock the Favre gray beard? What is that, y'all? Yes, indeed. Clarence got that Henny for you, Lord. Yeah. That's some. What do he have on his face? My guy David said, "Law, after I get unloaded, my auntie is in Mesquite, Texas. I'm burning rubber back home. Wish I could link up with you, Chip, my bro." Okay, all right, I feel you, man. He's on the golf course, There's medicine of some sort. Okay, all right. I'm just trying to help out my guy Tony Romo. He's a legend. Oh, that just gray hair how it's coming in. Shoot, he needs some Atlas razors there around this mug. Somebody hook Romo up with the Atlas razor kit, man. Hook him up, man. Hook up Romo with the Atlas razor. I got a promo for him. Use promo code LAW. All right. Dro said look like sunburn. Okay, all right. All right, boy. Oh, it's sunscreen. Okay. All right. Appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all. I just wanted to know what it was, man. Okay, that's the invisible cream. He had some Mando, and then when the sun hit it woke it up. That's what happened. All right, so reason why I asked you, my dog, because tomorrow I'm at a symposium tomorrow, and Atlas does do wonders, It might be sunscreen. Okay, I'm going to leave him alone, you know what I'm saying? Because, sunscreen, you need to protect your face. I forgot what it is. SP something, and he don't have that melanation, for the nation to protect it for what we got over here. But tomorrow, if you was in town, dog, we would be having this symposium. This is their 8th annual symposium. Reed Smith, you see it, Rise Family Office, Bert and Lee, and we'll be in Frisco. And at the symposium, I will be at the event with the podcast, and it will be Jamar Chase. I think he will be in the building, as well as Jalen Smith and a few other players that will be in the building. And we will have some venture capitalists and all of this good stuff. And hopefully, man, somebody can see into law and say, you know what? I believe in Law Nation. Let's go ahead and write out a check for about $5 million, man. That would be good. Wouldn't it be great? Yeah. Yeah, so somebody may cut me a check for $5 million. Maybe it'd be Reed Smith and Associates or the Cogent Bank or somebody like that. But with all jokes aside, we'll be having an event tomorrow and getting things going. I think SP50, that's what y'all saying. Yeah. Go trade for Mark Andrews. This is from Brandon86. Now, Mark Andrews, my guy. He's been dealt a bad cards of dropping the ball over there in Ravensland, right? That would be a good situation. I would literally, if I could, trade for Mark Andrews. I would boot Luke Schoonmaker clean up out of the building for Mark Andrews. Yeah, it will be Jake Ferguson, Mark Andrews, and Brevin Spanford. Them 3 tight ends right there. Look, I'll be yelling loud out just like my guy MJ. No excuses, Law. No excuses, Law. Gina states, shout out to you. She said, "What's good? Stay hydrated." Yeah. Walmart, where you at? Shoot. hey, you know, hey, Big Sarge says, ask Jamar Chase about BBL shrug off level. Yeah, we were asking about all of this stuff on the side, man. But one of the things that I want to get at is that, with all jokes to the side, it's always great to hear these type of things, especially as it relates to these players and these sorts of things. All right, so at this point, I got to dip out in the next. What time my appointment is? 1:30. Because today is London birthday. I gotta get my hair all chopped up for the event tomorrow and everything. What we're gonna do is we're gonna listen to my sponsors on this side of it, and then we're gonna open the phone lines up for the first 3 callers.
It starts from the first phone call. Most of the time, you're going to talk to Gene Burkett, a 30-year partner. You're not going to talk to some employee that just got put on the phones that day.
There are things that are so crucial, especially if it's a cataclysmic event, to have our experts get out and look at the vehicle, witness statements, photos, the whole thing.
Call Frankle first.
Chosen by the people, feared by the insurance companies. Call Frankle first.
Let me crack your cranium and fertilize your brain.
No doubt, man. That's Frankle and Frankle Personal Injury Lawyers. They are here, located here in the heart of Dallas. With over a combined of 100 years of experiences. So if you're in the fender bender, if you get T-boned, rammed from behind, and all of this stuff, reach out to Frankle and Frankle Personal Injury Lawyers, 214 or 817. And all of the 3s you can dial. Frankle and Frankle Personal Injury Lawyers will take great care of you. They located here in the heart of Dallas. If you can't dial that number, just visit franklefirm.com. Someone on that side of the world will be able to assist you. And right now, it's 1 o'clock. If you call them now, someone will answer. But if it's 1 o'clock, you know, like 1 o'clock at night, or basically it's really early in the morning. Y'all get what I'm saying. 1, 2 o'clock, nobody ain't gonna be there, y'all. Trust me, you know. Yeah, you might leave a message and someone will return your call or return your response depending on what you're saying. 657-390-7391 is the Frankle hotline for your mind. That's Long Way J says, Tony got that gray beard. That's what that is. Oh, wow. Yeah. Come on with it. I got my guy from the 202, Tyrone, in the building, man. What's good with you, man?
What's going on, Law?
Not much, man. How you living, man?
I can't complain. Just trying to survive.
Trying to survive, man. The DMV, right? DMV, that's where you at, right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
DC area.
I mean, they
where the Komodo dragon fans is.
they too cocky, man. I'm just like, wait a minute.
Man, I'm getting tired of them and this.
I thought they don't want the damn Super Bowl.
Yeah. They funny with that one, but it was just like what you were saying the other day about this man not having a date in life and you know being up under mama nipple and stuff, you know.
So, Areola Jayden, man, shoot, he all up under that, man. Shoot.
They putting too much hope into this boy. He better than Prescott. I'm like, oh Lord.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
But you know what? They always do that. You know, it was once upon a time Zach Wilson, Josh Rosen, you know what I'm saying? Joshua Allen, everybody better than that.
Everybody better than that, man. It's just, it's funny, you know. I'm just kind of like looking at this all season as, you know, as a motivator, you know. Everybody keeps saying that the Cowboys ain't gonna do this, and you know, Jake and Daniels. What is it, Jake Daniels?
Man, yeah,
or
Daniels.
Masturbation Daniels. My bad. My bad. I shouldn't say that.
Hey, wait a minute.
My bad. That's what it is.
Shit, him and Shay Sharp. But man, what you got for me today, man? What you got?
I ain't got too much today. I just, you know, send a shout out to to the Law Nation crew. You know what I mean? And let's just sign the Parsons. That's it. I mean, just sign the boy. You know?
Yeah, sign Parsons, man.
I'm all for signing Parsons, man. Sign Parsons.
You and I on the same boat with that one, man. Appreciate you for calling in.
Yes, sir.
That's my guy.
DC for L.
Yes, indeed. DC for life, man. No clone Tyrone. Yeah. I ain't gonna rag on Jaden Daniels that bad though, but yeah. Raised Hell, Chief Cooks Skinner. Shout out to you, man, Chef Cooks. There was somebody else that called in, but I got the loyal, faithful, 100%, 10 toes down. Wait a minute. Hold tight, MJ. I'm going to let JP in from V, man. From the 510, man, you in, man. It's from Vegas? What is it?
Man.
Virginia? Where you from?
Yeah, I'm in Virginia.
Virginia,
this
okay.
Is, JPOT.
Let me save you in here from the 4. I said, why'd I put V in here? I wasn't going to say
You
Vermont.
got me in there. You just got me under something else, that's all.
What you got for me today, man? JP.
Hey, man, I got a request because
Okay.
I know you're going to Oxnard.
Right.
And I know you're going to be doing, your videos, your taping. I just want to request that you get a good spot so that you can get some real good videos.
Okay.
Last year you was in a couple of okay spots, but it was basically, you had dudes jumping in front of you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But just asking for, just get a better location, because when you're down on the field, we really can't see too much. We're just seeing just maybe the span of what you're looking at.
Right.
But you got to understand, from our viewers' view.
Right.
Think about how you would like it to look if you was watching it yourself.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, I only say that because I've had a career in television. So when it comes to putting stuff on video, a lot of people don't think about what they're putting on, how it's going to be viewed. And then most viewers want to see it as if they're actually there.
It's
so
there in the party. Yeah.
Right. But that was it, man. I just wanted,
Oh, okay. Well, hey,
I mean, I got other stuff, but, it's just, hyperly, and what happens if Dak goes down? Do we really believe that, the backup will kind of step in and do a Dak on Dak, like he did on Romo? Because my man, he's pretty good. The backup, man, he's pretty good. I'm not talking about Gilbert. I'm talking about what's his name, man. He's pretty good. He could heave that ball.
You talking about Joe Milton, right? Well, we be looking for him, man. He should be able to put the ball on the money, especially for those, those balls that should be catchable, instead of those 5 and 15 yard out routes that we customarily see. It should be a whole lot better this year. Yeah.
But say, for instance, just, hypothetical, that happens, and he gets on, and him and Pickens light it up.
You talking about him with the first team?
No, say Dak is hurt, and he has to step up.
Yeah.
And then him and Pickens start lighting it up. I mean, we got another Dak Romo situation. Because if Dak hurts again, man, it's like, okay, dude, really? You got paper bones? What's going on?
Yeah, I see you on that aspect of it. Injuries are part of the game. I would say that. But the injury aspect of Dak Prescott, the catastrophic injuries that Tony Romo had, are just two different things, right? But I give it what you're saying. A back, when you hurt your back, that lasts a long time. Back and hips, that lasts forever almost.
But you got to understand, Romo's injuries piled up.
It did.
He also had been getting injured. Even when he got his lungs punctured, it's like, that would end anybody's career. But, he was the man. He did it till he couldn't do it no more.
No doubt, JP, man. I thank you for calling in, man.
All right, now, how about them Cowboys?
How about them, man? Come on with it. I got a
Twyman
super chat.
$10. Just in case. Law here is $1 towards that new digital camera setup. Bless up, King. Continue God's work.
Appreciate you, man. Every year they make it harder for us, right? some years, like, they don't want you to come in there with, zoom camera lenses and stuff like that. They don't want you to come in with selfie sticks. So you got to go in there incognito with a cell phone and stuff like that. And, the higher you are, the better you are, of course, And let me just explain to you guys. Because, and JP, I'm not going to beat him up because, he's just giving me some feedback. And I got some thick skin, as you can see, my thick beard here. It's $300 a day. Just think about it. $300 a day to be on the VIP side, right? Now, the media team, they can move around. They got free will, right? Free autonomy to move around as long as it's within the confines of their media rope. I'm not a media guy. You know what I'm saying? They don't give out media credentials to a person like me, right? But they will give it to companies. So unless y'all want to just support the nation by giving me $300 a day,
Damon,
go on with
boy,
it. Come on
Davis,
with it.
$5. La, here's $5 on it, not on lunch, but towards Oxnard or whatever would do more, but I'm trying.
Hey, man, anything to help, man. We scraping that, put it together, right? And then all of a sudden we look back, hey, we got us a whole situation here. But it's $300 a day for the VIP section. Now, to be fair, back in the days, before Jerry and them got super money hungry on Oxnard, you used to pay $300 one time, and it would last the entirety of your stay there in Oxnard. And it covered parking and a whole bunch of other stuff. But now it's $300 a day. My guy, somewhere he's in here, I forgot your name, tip him, Zach, I believe you somewhere in here, chat. He paid $300. And they don't give you the leg up on whether or not they're going to be playing and practicing on that said side of the field. I can't make this stuff up. So he paid $300 just to see an empty field. And there's no money backs too, So can you imagine you drove about 80 miles to get there? You stay somewhere in California. You drove up there and you paid you want to get the full experience, so you paid the $300. And then they don't even have the players playing on that side. The Oxnard thing is, and Davies would tell you, it's not worth it. Trust me. Yeah, and it's crazy. Now the venue itself is free. Right? Davies is free. It's like $20 for nachos, though. But what I'm getting at is that I'm going to try to give you guys. Now, there's two qualities, and I gotta break this down. When I live stream, regardless of the quality, it won't be as great if I just do a pre-record. So that's why I got two phones. I will. And I'm just me. I'm holding the phone. I'm holding two phones while I'm up there, right? I got the whole get up. I got the whole hoodie on my head and everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be incognito. I'm trying to hold. So I'm live streaming one end. And then I'm recording on the other end so people can get the good quality, the HD quality. And it just made. Man, can you imagine if I had a production team? They'd kick me up out of there then. They'd be like, hey, get that dude with the beard. Yeah, the one that look like John David Washington or James Harden. Get him up out of here. Scoop, get him up out of here. But even if I give somebody else the camera to record, they're not me. So they're not looking at the things that I will be looking at. So it's a wild, Oxnard is a wild thing. So what I'm going to do is this year, I talked to my guy, John Machota. He's going to have some great footages. He can have some up-close footages, and we're going to try to merge these footages together so we can have a great experience, right? But to make a long story short, it ain't easy. One of the problems that I have is that I make stuff that's difficult very easy, and everybody think it's good, right? Just to build this right here, to have the chat and the overlay and all this stuff. It takes time just to have that strip running at the bottom. It takes time, right? Just to shoot at 60 frames per second, it takes time. I got the 206 here in the mix. Talk to me. 206.
What's up, Law?
Not much, man. What you got for me?
Much, man. It's Future Vision. First time caller, long time listener. Yeah. I ain't gonna be on your line long. I just had a couple things I wanted to shoot out real quick. I didn't know if you all talked about this yet. It really, changed the momentum of what the guy was talking about with your film. I think you do a great job, but hey, that's my opinion. But what I want to discuss is, if you really look at our schedule, Law, I don't know if you all discussed this or not. I've been on vacation. Mm-hmm. We got 13 games that was favorable weather. And our offense and our defense, as fast as it is, with 13 games with favorable weather, if you feel like we can at least go item 13, 10-3.
Yeah.
Item 13. If you look at the schedule, we got a lot of dome games, a lot of good weather games. So I just wanted to hear your thoughts on it, and I'll listen on your comment on it and get off the line here. But I feel like we should be able to at least have a favorable, good schedule this year, especially with the games that's not very many cold weather games we got. Even though Dak doesn't have a problem playing in cold weather, but still, with our defense and our offense, good weather games should be great. I'll get off this list till you comment, Law. Have a good one. Appreciate
no doubt,
you,
man. Appreciate you, Future Vision, man. Thank you for calling. Been a long-time listener. First-time caller. Yes, I appreciate that, bro. I think that they did do us a good solid by playing the Eagles week 1 at Philly. Normally it's going to be colder game if it was like down the stretch, but that's going to be probably a good sunny day game if it's not raining up that way. And September the 4th, Dak Prescott's mom's birthday, I believe, so it's going to be a primetime game. And then we got a home game in New York, and then we got an early game in Chicago. Normally that will be inclement weather unless it rained that night. So that's going to be a good day for us. And I think that the favorable sides of it is that we are having these games a little bit earlier. Those colder climate type of teams like Chicago and Green Bay is at the crib, but New York and Carolina's still in the South, I believe. So Washington week 7. But that's gonna be at our crib, right? Yeah, it's our crib. So the game that's circled on my calendar is the Denver Broncos game. That's that mile high stuff. We haven't beaten them boys since 1995 or 94. So that's been a long time, y'all. Long time. All right, so let's go to the next caller and get these things moving and grooving. From the 206, you're on the mix, man. Talk to me, man.
What up, Law? How you doing, brother?
Man, doing great, man. Can't wait to see you out there in Oxnard next month.
Yeah, man, it's going to be good. You did a good breakdown. I sent something to your station, I think. It was a guy talking about the Cowboys. Not the Cowboys. He was talking about the pretenders, the faking, the overrated. He put Washington, San Diego. He even put Philly. He said, even though they won, guys, and he was just breaking down. I said it to was cold-blooded. And he broke down that Washington team. He said, man, they lost a lot of people. He said, Tunzel, he give up sacks. Don't let that guy psych out. That's why he should get rid of him. He said, the Washington defense, they ain't got no pass rushers. Oh, my God. I was like, man, he broke this thing down. He said, a lot of teams going to be hurt. They're going to have a stupid look on their face for the season. Because, everybody bragging on the Chargers, the Washington. They say Philly ain't going to repeat. It's hard to repeat it in the NFC East.
It is.
And, oh, my God. I said, this guy broke it down. It's somebody with common sense. And he broke it down, and he wasn't hating. And he's like, man, and he just wasn't hating, man. And I tell people, the Cowboys going to shock a lot of teams. And I'm glad they dogging us. And there's one dude, I put a bet on him. I betted him, Law. God, I betted him $1,000. That's what he said, Law.
What did he say?
we only gonna win 4 games.
In closing, man. In closing, because I got a 1:30 that I got to be at, and it's literally 1:20.
In closing, man. How about the Cowboys? Dak Prescott gonna have a good year, and we're gonna light that scoreboard up. We're gonna average 30 a game. How about them Cowboys?
How about him, man? That's my guy, MJ, man. Betting $1,000, man. I hope he get that 1,000 in there real quickly. All of the other callers that was on the hold, man, I try to get to y'all hopefully a little later on. As I depart from my studios to yours, Cowboy Nation, I strive to be the best. I take all valuable feedback. And we're going to get this going. There's some things that I'm trying to get sponsored so that I can have a person to follow me with the camera, and I'll be hooked and synced in with the audio. Yeah, we're working on that. We just got to get it sponsored in. Because camera people, man, they charge. I'm talking about they charge about $300-400 a day. Think about all of that. So everything comes with a price, especially when you're independent. So when y'all seeing like the DallasCowboys.com with the cameraman walking around, they paying them folks. They ain't out there for free. They paying them folks for that quality. But it just made. Right? So we're going to get it going. I thank everybody, man, for y'all support. All of y'all hard work and dedication is not going to be unseen. Bring them baskets. That's what Dak on Filthy said. Or bring them baskets. Shh. This is easy. An easy miracle. And I know exactly what he said. So my goal is to never pull mouth, y'all. Because at the end of the day, people do what they want to do. People do what they want to do, baby. That's all I got to say. I got to really roll. That time running, God dog. I got to be there really quick, fast, in a hurry. So one love, DC for life, baby. Thank y'all.